So, David, I don't know if you have heard that there has been some gaming news this week. Some pretty major news.
Some pretty big news. And I think it's fair to say that the people deserve to hear it first from us, is that I've decided to retire. From Heaps Good.
Oh no.
Leonard is also retiring, and ChatGPT is going to be taking over Last Week in Gaming today.
God, well, I mean, it's because we received that massive cash injection from Satya Nadella with all the money that he's invested in AI, am I right? And I guess that is actually, I know we're talking shit, but this is actually kind of a bit of a part of the news that we're talking about as well. So Phil Spencer has announced that he is retiring as of like 2 days ago for the day of recording this, after 12 years of leading Xbox and, after 38 years of being at Microsoft, which is a massive slog, a massive innings. Also, the heir apparent, or the person that everyone thought was going to step up and take his place, Sarah Bond, is also leaving Microsoft, but is apparently staying on as a special advisor during the transition or whatever. But so basically the two main major figures in Xbox gaming have now basically just gone, okay, we're done. We've clocked in for our final shift. Goodbye.
Yeah, BT Dubs, by the way, I'm out.
Yeah, see ya.
On top of that, Matt Booty has been also promoted to be running more of the developers, I think, that Xbox has acquired.
Yeah, he's going to be the executive chief content officer.
While there's going to be a new lead for Xbox, which is Asha Sharma. I believe, I'm sorry if I'm butchering that name, Asha Sharma, who is currently, or was currently, the president of Microsoft's core AI product, which is something. What? We'll get into something.
We'll get into that. But, it's just, can I just say, pour one out for Phil Spencer, pour one out for the homie. F in the chat, how appropriate. That's so good. I saw this meme. It was so fucking good. Someone posted on Instagram. It was a 21-gun salute to Phil Spencer in Halo Infinite had to be cancelled due to a lack of players. I just thought that was so good. But no, so this isn't just a reshuffle. I feel like this is just a complete reset, David. So overall, let's just talk about, I guess, the implication of what this could mean for Xbox as a brand, because my theory, if you will, David, is that Phil Spencer, I think, for a lot of flack that Microsoft and Xbox has been getting for the past couple of years, and we haven't been shy about making content about, like, what the fuck is Xbox doing?
As Sony ponies?
Of course, that's apparently what we are. But I would say that he has also brought in made a lot of great decisions when it comes to the Xbox as well. So with the Xbox One era under Phil Spencer, he was basically taking point with decoupling the Kinect from the console. So that way the consoles were, cheaper and more affordable on their own without the Kinect. He also oversaw the backwards compatibility gaming with the Xbox One and, Xbox 360 and original Xbox titles to be able to be played on the Xbox One. I thought that was really great as well. And he's also a gamer himself. Apparently he's got over 700 hours in Destiny or some shit like that, which is fucking insane. So
I remember seeing a video that a Fallout 76 player found him playing randomly.
I remember that as well.
And it was actually Phil Spencer. Phil Spencer's like, oh, hi, how you doing? And he just gave the guy so many items. He's like, just take all of these.
Sick. That's so sick. But he seemed like one of us, David. He seemed like a real gamer. And I just, despite all the shit that's been happening over the past few years, I never felt like, to put it simply, that he was just like the bad guy in all this. I felt like he was wanting to make the right decision or, push Xbox gaming forward. But my theory, if you will, David, is that after such a fucking gargantuan acquisition of 69 billion, of, Activision and, everything underneath, to me, feels like there's like a deadline, or there was an expectation that was going to come out of that. And maybe with what Satya Nadella's AI-driven utopian goals or whatever, maybe weren't aligning with what Phil Spencer's gaming goals were, or maybe Nadella was wanting more upfront funds to be coming in, or cash flow coming in from Xbox gaming, and maybe that just wasn't happening. So I don't know. I do have some theories on that, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on this retirement announcement.
Well, I think, let's call a spade a spade. I don't think this as a choice that Phil Spencer made willingly, especially with how it's just all abrupt and sudden. I feel like Phil Spencer's retirement wasn't planned. I feel like he was given a choice that he was either going to get fired or he could retire and, get a nice little, little package when he retired. He was given a monumental task to bring Xbox out of the dark ages when the Xbox One was released. Let's be honest, Xbox One release was a disaster. So he was given that big dog pile of shit to try and bring back the reputation of Xbox. And he implemented some great features with backwards compatibility, making the Xbox more affordable. Game Pass, which is an amazing, obviously, feature and value to some people who can't really afford the big bucks to play the games on release day. So he's done so much in the last decade for Xbox than I think anyone has ever done for Xbox, period, since the 360. So what's it going to look like now? I don't know. I think this is quite a big shakeup. I think you are correct when you do say this is a reset. From what I've been reading on the internet, a lot of people are very worried about this shakeup. Promptly so.
Who wasn't worried beforehand though?
Probably so. Who wasn't worried about beforehand? And I feel like a lot of decisions that people blame Phil for wasn't necessarily his fault, because at the end of the day, he is the head of Xbox, and he can only do so much as he can because it's under Microsoft, and Microsoft have one job, which is to appease the shareholders. And that's all they have to do, is try to make as much money for their shareholders so they can be happy. So a lot of decision making that he probably wanted to do probably got a lot of pushback because it didn't align with Microsoft's values to make the most amount of money in the least amount of time.
Well, I definitely think that there was probably a timeline or a horizon where it's like, okay, this is a massive investment that we are making with acquiring Activision Blizzard. We got to start seeing it pay off within a certain amount of time. And I know that a lot of people were really upset and unhappy with a lot of the decisions, ourselves included, that have been happening when it comes to all the layoffs, the price hikes of the consoles, as well as, obviously the price hike of Game Pass and all that shit. So I don't know, we can speculate all day about this, but I guess what I'm more interested in is probably speculating about the future of Xbox, because as we've acknowledged, so Sarah Bond, she's out. Apparently some people have actually said that she wasn't exactly the easiest person to work with.
I've heard that as well.
Yes, and we could speculate whether it's Phil was just genuinely retiring and then she was forced out, whether they were both forced out, whatever the fuck. We're never really going to know. Maybe we will down the track, years to come. But what I'm actually interested in is Asha Sharma and what is she even doing in this position? It just feels like it does not add up or line up. So, a bit of background. So she was the former head of Microsoft Core AI products, but before that, she was also, her background includes Instacart COO and Meta executive. So that's kind of some of the roles that she was in and has experience in. So it's kind of like quite a diverse background. And Satya Nadella says that she brings a deep experience in building and growing platforms to the role. Now, my concern, and I think a lot of people's concerns, and I won't speak for you, but I'm assuming it's probably quite similar, is that with her current experience at building AI products, and Satya Nadella has been quite pro AI and investing like $80 billion into, developing AI and AI products as well, it makes me wonder if that is going to bleed into this new vision or this new future. And this is what's tricky. It feels like we're currently being told a lot already from Asha Sharma. She wants to recommit to our core Xbox fans and players. She promises a renewed commitment to Xbox, starting with console, and a return to that renegade spirit that built Xbox in the first place. But the thing is, I'm concerned that this is just lip service and just telling us what we want to hear so that way we can accept her transition into this role a little smoother. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, I kind of always thought that Phil Spencer was gamer focused, wanted to commit to the Xbox fans and players. And I don't see that someone who's stepping in who quite frankly doesn't even know anything about gaming by the sounds of it, I don't know how she is going to necessarily bring that golden era back. And my concern is that, she specifically said, we are not going to be making AI slop. But is this going to be the same thing as like Satya Nadella basically saying, guys, can we stop calling it AI slop? It's not AI slop. What if she literally means that, well, it's not AI slop because it's AI awesome. It's AI great products. And this is like, we're going to be incorporating AI, but we just think it's good. So I'm concerned about that. Well, what are your thoughts?
Look, I want to try and be as optimistic as I possibly can because Xbox has a legacy that is undeniable. They were the forefront of console gaming in the early 2000s and the mid 2010s. And without Xbox, I don't think gaming wouldn't be the way it is today if it wasn't for them. I hope that Asha, when she does come into this role, she doesn't want to bring any AI slop into the Xbox, because if there's any sort of AI implementation to the Xbox product, I feel like it's going to be a massive backfire, because we have seen a lot of pushback from gamers who essentially, if there's any mention of AI in any video game, it gets shunned. It gets shunned immediately from any sort of positive reinforcement. Is she just going to be a figurehead just for Microsoft, just to be like, hey, we're going to be pushing this, just run it by the Xbox community? It could be, but I hope this does turn over a new leaf from Microsoft, and maybe it's going to be a good thing where we're actually going to see them move more into a positive light than they currently are at the moment. But from what I've been seeing about how she has been presenting AI, when she was the president or the lead of AI, she was really pushing it a lot. The best.
Well, I mean, if you're in that role, you kind of have to.
You kind of have to. These are the best things to slice bread. Experience, maybe her lack of experience might be a good thing, because maybe she can pick it up on the way and learn from the team that she has underneath her, like how it should be run and what vision that they do have, and maybe she would listen to them and present these great ideas forward. The other side of that is I'm a bit worried. I'm very worried about her previous experience as being the head of AI, essentially.
Seamus Blackley has actually said that Microsoft is seemingly effectively sunsetting Xbox, and has described Sharma as basically being a palliative care doctor who slides Xbox gently into the night. And
Jesus
you know,
Christ.
I kind of can't help but agree with this. Like, we're going down two paths. This definitive change to the Xbox brand as we know it is effectively either going to do one of two things. We're going to start to see the intentional decline or sunsetting of Xbox, because, you know, I think that with Nadella's focus on like AI products, Windows, all that stuff, I don't know how much Xbox is, or Xbox hardware and consoles are as much of a priority for him and the Microsoft brand. But that being said, it also could, if Microsoft and Xbox starts focusing on first-party games again, all that kind of stuff, I wonder if that is going to bring back an Xbox renaissance. But the genie's out of the bottle as well, with Halo coming out on PS5 soon, Forza, Gears of War, all of these series that were iconic and identifiable with the Xbox brand are now on other platforms. So it's just like, are you just going to stop that from happening with future entries in the series? Or are you going to have to create wholly new IP and just accept the decision that you've made? Or basically be like, all right, well, we've already committed to letting Halo go onto the PS5. So I guess we're just going to have all future Halo games be cross-platform, and you're just going to have to create a whole new series that is just Xbox exclusive. So they're really having to start from the ground up again in a way.
Yeah, ironic. I didn't hear that comment saying that it's she's like a palliative care taking Xbox to at the end of the tunnel of light. You know, giving it a bit of morphine just to put it out of its misery, because it's just in pain and suffering. And yeah, that is quite an interesting take, and a take I didn't think of. Are we witnessing right now firsthand the death of Xbox? Is this the end of Xbox as they know, where Microsoft just, you know what, we're going to give up? We're going to be the new generation of Sega, where we used to be a console and now we're just a publisher for the current consoles, which is, you know, PlayStation 5 and Switch.
So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, there's the potential upside and there's the risks. So I guess the pros and cons. Pros being that it's a fresh perspective, strong tech and scaling background. We've also got a clear console-first language in which she's telling us, responding to people saying that, you know, I want to focus on the gamers. And also, you know, she's, you know, been personally backed by Nadella, so it's like, okay, well, that's good, I guess. But there's also...
but it is Nadella. Like, I don't trust the CEO Microsoft, to be honest.
No. But I guess that goes into the risks. So we're losing two long-standing Xbox advocates, even though, you know, the last couple of years have been a little bit rocky. We've also got a culture shift away from the gamer-led leadership and AI emphasis it's a bit conflicting with the current console identity of what people want from their gaming consoles. It's like she's talking out of both sides of her mouth as well. It's kind of like, yeah, we're going to be focusing on the console experience for the gamers, but then she's also at the same time saying, yeah, but we're also going to be focusing on the cloud and, handheld and like, PC gaming and all that stuff. So it's like, you're just basically saying that you're just going to be focusing on absolutely every angle and aspect of Xbox gaming. And I feel like, I swear, I'm probably having a senior moment here, but I swear to God, I saw someone posted or added her on Twitter or whatever, and it was something like, oh, can Asha Sharma or whatever, can Xbox bring back the Blade dashboard? And then she's just like, I think she responded and it was like, oh, is this what gamers want? Or something like that. And it's just like, you clearly have no idea what this is. Like, you've got no idea what the Blade dashboard is. It's a dashboard from the Xbox 360 console, which hasn't been available for over a decade now. So what are you saying here? But I guess, let's draw this conversation to a close, David. So final thoughts, where do you predict, or what do you think could happen or is most likely to happen from your humble perspective with Xbox moving forward?
I want to try to be obviously very optimistic, and I hope that maybe this change or shake-up in leadership might be what Xbox needs to really turn a new leaf over to try and get back to what they were. But I feel like that's very, very optimistic of me and very naive to think that Xbox is going to have a massive comeback where they're just going to dominate the next generation or this current generation. Realistically, I think what's going to happen is the point you made is that maybe Xbox is transitioning to a phase where they don't want to be in the console market anymore and have more of a software position where we're going to be seeing a lot of games that are going to be produced by Xbox under Xbox Studios, but just released on the platforms like Nintendo Switch and PS and PlayStation 5 and 6. I think that we are seeing the death of Xbox as we know it, and it's going to be, like I said, the new Sega, the Sega of this generation, where it's just going to be a publisher now. And
to be fair, I pretty much agree with that. I think that we're going to see pretty quickly within the first year or two what the intentions are from Sharma, if she's going to put her money where her mouth is. And I mean, at the end of the day, they're already falling behind. Their revenue is down. Their hardware sales are down. They really need to do something bold. And I'm just sitting on the sidelines waiting to see if that is actually what's going to happen. I really hope it is, because despite everything that's happened over the past couple of years, I love the Xbox brand. And if it weren't for some of the decisions that have been happening and, how this current gen console has been handled, with the Xbox Series X and S versus the PS5, I would have that Xbox console rather than PS5, because all of my history of all of my gaming since being a teenager is basically in that ecosystem. But I've said goodbye to it because they haven't really done anything to keep their consumers happy. They've just been focusing on, Game Pass and all that stuff, which is fine, but there's no exclusivity or reason for me to buy that console specifically. So I really hope that they do pivot back towards that direction, but time will tell. We'll see. I'm worried that it is going to be for the worse. That it's like, hey, we're going to be focusing on making all these awesome games, but we've decided to implement Copilot, gobbledygook, whatever the fuck, into the development process or whatever, to try and cut costs, cut corners and all that stuff. I'm really worried about that. But yeah, time will tell.
Time will tell.
Hey, would you look at that? You've made it through the entirety of this episode. Congratulations. This video is just one section of our weekly gaming podcast called Last Week in Gaming Today. If you're interested in checking out the full episode or more discussions like the one you've just watched, I'll leave a link to the podcast in the description and comment section below.